Good morning, traders. Hope you can hear me. I was trying to test my mic earlier and I was having a little bit of problems. I think I need to buy a new one, so I'm hoping you can hear me. Hope you had a good weekend. I am super ready to tackle August. I had a great month of July with my trading results, and I'm going to continue doing exactly what I was doing before, just with a little more risk this month, so we'll see how it goes. So we'll get started with the watch list here. I just did like a preliminary scan through, and honestly, um, I'm only seeing a few things of interest, and one of them was actually this DTSS short through 750 here. Unfortunately, I don't have any borrows on this, so I wasn't able to participate. They seem to be sold out, so at least on my broker, I use TradeZero. So I wasn't able to participate in that pre-market short there, but it did have a juicy looking extension, so yeah, little bummed out on that, but that's all good. We'll get some other trades lined up. But we'll start with HUSA at the top here. It looks like this was like what's it called? A reverse split of some sort. So I probably won't even bother trading it. And I think the same thing with VISL. It's a reverse split. So I can kind of just tell. I don't even have to look at the news or read the news to tell. I can just tell by this just straight shot up here. There's no candlestick or anything. It's just an empty gap, and that's how I kind of know that it's reverse split. And then I don't really play reverse splits, so I'll kind of just brush over those. DTSS was the third one on the list, which looked the most exciting to me. Still does look exciting. It's really extended from these bigger time frames. The hourly chart, the 15-minute chart, even the 5-minute still has a bit of an extension on it. So I'm not too long biased on this one at all. But honestly, if it could maybe reclaim, let me clear these levels. If it could maybe reclaim this 750 level to start, and then maybe we can start getting like a bull flag pattern to form. I just feel like it has a lot more room to drop to the downside before it could see that bounce. So that's why I'm a little more short biased on it. But I'll keep an eye on it, and if I'm going to not be able to get borrows on it all day, I probably won't be able to short it at all. So, but that's fine. We'll keep an eye on it anyways. HIHO looks decent. I'd like to see it get back above maybe $6 to start and hold as support there, somewhere right up in here. And then maybe for like a break of 650, which is kind of wide risk, so maybe it needs to even get above 625-ish level. It has some funky upper wicks here, which I don't really care for. Looks like a lot of sell pressure, a lot of trap buyers potentially, so maybe any move it does do, it's going to get met with sellers. So I'll keep an eye on it for it to reclaim 6, but I'm not really interested in longing it until it can do that. And it looks like there's no more context left on the short side, so I'll just be watching for that $6 reclaim and kind of see how it behaves. I saw some of you guys, if you're in my chat room, talking about this ADT. It looks okay. To me, it's a little more expensive than I'd like it to be. I try to stay under 10 bucks, but I'll go over it anyways. If it could reclaim $16 up in here, hold that as support. Whoops. Hold that as support and maybe break 17, I think. We could see some more upside. That's very, very wide risk. It's $1 per trade, so maybe even a 16.50 reclaim would look better. This little candle in here pops out to me. So yeah, it's got a lot of work to do for me to want to buy it long. And honestly, it still has a little more room to the downside on this hourly chart. You can still see the extension there. So I'm a little more short biased on it for now. That doesn't mean I'm going to jump into it short randomly though. I'm going to still just watch it and see how things set up. And then for a long, I'd like to see it kind of bounce up above VWAP and the $16 level, maybe even $16.50, and then break through 17 for more upside, but we'll keep it on watch. AMBO doesn't look all that exciting to me right now, but let's see if it can. I kind of like how it held. It's holding this 320-ish level, but to me, yeah, it would need to. It's kind of a funky pattern. I don't really care for it. It's almost like it needs to break 350 to make any sort of move, but then it's very extended on the 5 minute still. So if it breaks, it's probably gonna fall and like reclaim, or I'm sorry, retest these lower time frame areas. So I don't know. This chart doesn't really jump out to me, but I'll keep it on watch. MARA, I'm so surprised this thing is still running. I guess Bitcoin is held up over the weekend. I traded this like twice last week, down in the low 2s. And I actually did have a thought to swing it, but I don't really swing trade, so it freaks me out, honestly. So I've had a lot of bad luck in my early days swing trading, getting stuck in a bunch of offerings and stuff like that, so now I don't swing anymore. But it's good to see Mara still running. I still think it has a ton of overhead resistance on this thing, especially on... Actually, no. It looks a lot better now. I was going to say on the daily chart, but now we're kind of like way up in here now, so never mind. It looks really strong, actually. These bigger time frames are all being held up. Even the hourly chart has kind of been tested and flagged through. It looks like this thing already made its move in pre-market. You could have maybe bought like this 280 break, risking 270 or something like that, straight through here. But I missed it. I wasn't even watching it, to be honest, but we'll see if it sets up after the bell. Not too short biased on this one. I'm more long biased, if anything, especially with how Bitcoin's holding up. So I'll keep Mara on watch for sure. This AMBO, I think we already went over. RSSB is just doing no volume. AIHS, let's see here. Back to my 1 minute chart. If this thing can maybe reclaim the dollar level, and or $1.05 and then break through 110, that could be a trade, but it needs to kind of like pop up, pull back, and like consolidate and then break through 110. So that could be something. Keep that on watch for the $1 reclaim, but ideally 105. BORR kind of looks like algorithm driven. It's just a feeling I get when I look at these like candlesticks. I don't know, it's very discretionary, but to me it feels very choppy and not authentic. But it looks interesting with that in mind. It's a big float too, so kind of out of my wheelhouse. But I would like to see maybe a $1.10. I'm sorry, $1 and maybe like a $1.18 hold and a breakthrough 120, which would be a very tight risk setup. But yeah, has more room to fall as well. I'll keep it on watch, but it doesn't look like my favorite chart. CBay, looking weak right now, has more room to fall to test this hourly chart. I already drew a crap ton of levels on it, as you can see. I'll clear them, but to me, I'd like to see it reclaim 480 to start, just to get back above this VWAP area. But then you can also see it has some resistance here at 5, and even some more at 520. So that's why I drew a bunch of lines on it earlier. I'd like to see for a long pop back up at least 480 and break through 5, but ideally I'd like to see it even reclaim 5 and break through 510 or 520. So it has a lot of work for me to do to want to buy it long, but it's not a bad looking chart. Like I said though, I'm more short biased on anything right now. It has a little more room to go here, but I don't think I'll participate. I'll just watch how things set up after the bell. JCAP, really low volume and choppy, can't really trade that chart, so I'll skip over that one. VAR, same deal. This isn't really a chart you can trade, in my opinion. FET, Let's see here. Sub-dollar ticker, not my favorite, but maybe a 65-cent reclaim and a break through 66 level. Not sure. It's like a 1 cent risk right there, but I don't know. These sub-dollar stocks are not my favorite. We went over that. IMUX. Not the best looking chart, but maybe a $24 reclaim and a breakthrough 25, which is a whole dollar risk. Maybe even 25.50. I like how it's testing this hourly chart. That means it could potentially bounce off that and then maybe start setting up and reclaiming through some of these levels here. I'll keep a side eye on that. It looks like it's doing low volume now, but the pattern looks not bad, so I'll keep it on watch. I'll try to speed this up here. We got a little less than 3 minutes before the bell. TYME, I'd like to see it for a long bounce up above 160 or 165 and break through 170. That could be decent. Doesn't have much room on the bone for a short, so I'm more long biased on that, but I'd like to see it kind of get up and consolidate in here and then break through 170. I'll keep that on watch. A lot of these we already covered. HMHC looks like it's breaking out as we speak. I don't really see too much of a pattern on that at the moment. If anything, I'd be chasing to buy it now. It looks like the move was already made through 325-ish level here. So I'll keep this on watch for a short, actually, but it would not even be close. It has a lot of work to do. I'd need to see it get extended from these bigger time frames and then maybe try to short it, but I don't know. It's also bigger float out of my wheelhouse, so it's not on the top of my list. ZVO, now that it's testing these bigger time frames, can bounce. I'd like to see it reclaim 475 to start, maybe break through 5, or maybe even reclaim 490 here, and then break through 5. That would be a better tight 10-cent risk trade through there, but has some bouncing and chopping around to do first. Keep that one on watch too, though. I actually kind of like that one. Could be doing more volume, but it might pick up. ATIF. I'm more short biased, but it's poor context, so there's not much room for it to fall here. But I don't know. Maybe on the open, if it falls down here, bounces and like holds above this 180 level. And maybe breaks through 185. I don't know. I'm really guessing here about what I could maybe see this doing, but yeah, it has a lot of room to do to set up long for me. I think NXTD is I think it's like a video game company, but it also dabbles in crypto, which is why it runs when Bitcoin's high. I don't know. I don't really like this stock. I stay away. And that's pretty much it, guys. I think, oh, Riot. Riot's another Bitcoin one. Maybe if it holds 280 or 290 and breaks through 3, we could see something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's. I'm gonna watch this one for sure because it's just with Bitcoin up, but I'm not gonna buy it anytime soon. I think it needs to kind of chop around in here and then break through 310 or 315 to see any more upside. It has some resistance up in here. Alright guys, the bell just rang. Trade safe today. I'm going to shut the stream off, and if you have any questions, hit me up in chat. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.